I'm Noelle Neef, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a wick hydroponic system. There are many different hydroponic systems that you can make, but this is the simplest and easiest that you can replicate at home. For those of you who don't know, a hydroponic system is a subset of hydroculture, and it's where you grow plants without soil and you grow it in a nutrient-rich solution with water and in a growing medium that is very water absorbent. Just as a heads up, I am not a professional by any means, and I am still learning how to do this. So don't take what I say, don't take it for word, because it's definitely subject to change. Also, as a heads up, if you want any more information, there will be links on our website to good reputable sources that I've used to learn more about this. What you're gonna need to make a wick hydroponic system at home is a 2-liter bottle, wicks that you put in a tea torch, something to measure the water and nutrient solution in, perlite, distilled water, drill with a drill bit, an X-Acto knife, scissors, a syringe that you use to give babies medicine with, a cup with tap water or purified water in it, tape. I'm using electrical tape, but really any tape like duct tape will work. And then you're gonna need nutrients. I got these nutrients off of Amazon, and they're from the company General Hydroponics, and they provide a lot of good information and like on the bottles and on their website about how to use them. And then I'm also planting oregano. In this system, it's great to plant herbs because they don't need a lot of water and they can grow in small spaces. The first thing that you're gonna wanna do is clean out your 2-liter bottle. I just use warm water and dish soap, and I use Dawn. You wanna make sure all the suds are out and it's completely dry before you start doing this. Once you have it completely dry, you're going to wanna mark where you're going to cut. The easiest way to do this is to put 16 ounces of water in the bottom, so then you know you're not gonna run out of room for your nutrients. Once you can see where that water's at, then I would recommend marking the lines around it so you know where to cut. Once you have cut that, you're gonna wanna take your drill, and you're going to want to drill a hole on the top of the cap that is approximately the same size as the wick. You don't want it to be too loose because you don't want the wick to slide and move, but you don't want it to be too tight where the wick can't move the nutrients up and down from the plants to the reservoir. As you can see, I took the X-Acto knife and cut around the edges that I marked, and then I used the scissors to cut off any sharp edges. Then I took the drill bit and drilled a hole in the cap and screwed it on as tight as I can. Now I'm going to take the wick and place it into the hole, and then use the tape to tape the cap onto this top part so I know nothing will leak. Now that I've taped the cap, I also cut the wick. Obviously I had to cut the wick because this is the original size and it is taller than the bottle itself. You want it to not touch the bottom part of the plastic, but be about 1/4 of an inch off the bottom. For this top part, you want it to be no more than an inch lower than this top rim. You might need somebody to help you because this wick can be kind of hard to cut, so having somebody to help pull it and create tension will help it cut easier. Next, I'm going to take my perlite, which you can get at your local hardware store or Prairie Gardens, and fill up this top part with the perlite. You want it to be about 1/2 inch to 1/4 of an inch off from the top. You don't want it all the way to the top because when you have it sitting outside, the wind can easily blow it, and so having it off the top, you're gonna expose your seeds. So once you think you have enough, you're going to want to shake it to make sure it's even and to ensure that it all flows down to the bottom. So now we're going to create the nutrient solution. I've placed 16 ounces of distilled water, and you can get that at your local store into this container. I'm going to take my syringe and place it into this nutrient. You're going to need 1/8 of nutrients because that is what the website said for to start off seeds. I like to suck out more than I know I'm gonna need and gently put it back in so I know I can get a precise measurement. I like to be mindful of the air bubbles that's going to be caused when you suck it up, because that will throw off your nutrients. So I like to push it out until I get to what I think looks like 1/8 of a teaspoon. And again, it doesn't have to be the most precise. You just want it to be as close as you think it is. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna squeeze it into the nutrient solution. There's still a little bit left, so I like to suck out this, and so I can get more, and you can see there's some in there, and then I just like to push it out again. And then to further clean it, I like to put it in either tap water or just purified water. I'm using tap water, and I just like to clean it out one last time. I then like to clean it off with a paper towel to ensure that it's dry when it goes into the other nutrients. I'm going to repeat this step for the other 2 nutrients. Now that you have the nutrient solution, you're going to place it into the bottom. So you're just going to take the top off and carefully pour it in. Once you have it all the way in, you can just place the top back on, and then you're going to take your seeds and follow the directions on the back of how deep you should plant them. So I have a few in my hand, and for this size of container, ideally you would plant 4. So I just like to make 4 tiny little holes with my finger and place the seeds in them. So once I place them in the holes, I just cover it back up like you're planting any other plant in a normal garden. And that is how you have your wick hydroponic system. Now that you have a completed hydroponic system, I would like to share some tips with you. First is that I like to set mine out in the day and bring it in at night. This is for 2 reasons. 1, the hydroponic system cannot get any rain on it because since this is a controlled nutrient solution on the bottom, having rainwater seep down in it will dilute the nutrients. It can also wash away the seeds on the top if they are not rooted in yet. The second reason is because of wind. The perlite on top is a very delicate material, and just a little bit of wind can make it blow away and expose your seeds. The next tip is your wick. As you can see, the wick is already starting to expand. This is really good because that means that you know that the nutrients are starting to flow up to the top where the plants are. The final thing I would like to share with you is the nutrients. You are going to need to change the nutrients every 3 to 4 days. There are 2 ways you can tell if you need to change them. The first is by the color. As you can see, it has a pinkish tint to it. Once that pinkish tint goes away and it's more clear, you know that the plants absorb those nutrients and you need to change it. The other way is by marking a line where the top of the water is and watching it lower. Once it gets about 1/4 of an inch below the line, you know that you're going to need to replace it. Again, this will occur every 3 to 4 days, so just making sure you're keeping track of it is very important. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned more about hydroponics.